Welcome back to Couple Movie Watchers with Ryan and
Anna.
In today's video, we're going to break down the movie Unhinged, starring Russell Crowe. Was it roasted or toasted? Don't ask us what that means, but stay tuned. And we are back. In today's video, we're going to break down Unhinged. Now, a couple of notes here. Unhinged was one of the first theatrical release since the pandemic. So this is one of the first movies that came out into movie theaters. It grossed 43 million worldwide. It received mixed reviews from critics who praised Russell Crowe's performance, but felt he didn't take advantage of his premise. Now, we're not critics here. We're regular folks and a couple talking ish. So we're going to break all that stuff down to you today. So let's give you a quick premise of the movie. So according to the premise, it says Rachel is a single mother whose bad day gets even worse when she bumps her horn at a fellow driver during a rush hour traffic. Now, I don't know about you. I don't think I ever really said what state they were in, and it wasn't LA. So I'm like, what place got rush hour traffic like this? This is definitely some science fiction stuff if it's not LA's traffic. After an exchange of words, she soon realizes that the mysterious man is following her and her young son in his truck. Now, the initial case of road rage quickly escalates into full-blown terror as Rachel discovers the psychopath's sinister plan for revenge. The whole family gonna die because you're gonna beat your horn and say sorry. Now, I don't know. We'll find out if they die or not. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps out the channel. And let's jump in. Anna, what do you think about the start of the movie when you see that opening scene?
I thought it was scary because he just goes inside a house and he just starts killing this couple and you don't know what's going on, but it's just you're at your house just thinking that you're at your house and then somebody just comes in and kills you off. It's kind of terrifying.
I would agree. I wasn't sure what was going on in the beginning because he's sitting in his truck, he's contemplating something, he's playing with a match, so you're not really sure what's going on. It's raining and he gets out his truck, takes a hammer, busts in the house, and kills everybody. So at first you're like, okay, it must be an ex-wife or something like that, you know, crazy ex-husband, which ended up being the case. But that opening scene, we didn't know what was going on. And, you know, watching the previews, I wasn't sure was this like the beginning or the end of the movie. But luckily, one thing I do like about this movie is that it wasn't like a flashback. That actual scene was actually the beginning of the movie and explained what actually happened. So I thought that was something they did really well to kind of show you his mental state. So when it gets into it with Rachel, we have a little bit of a backstory. So from there, when they go into the whole Rachel scene, to be honest, as a character, I don't really like Rachel, even up to that point when she beeps the horn at him. I felt, you know, she was kind of like a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, you can see this guy's clearly crazy, yet she's just trying to have that attitude like, I don't care. I'm not going to say sorry, you crazy guy. Yeah, what do you think about the incident between Rachel and Russell Crowe character?
Seeing that scene kind of reminds me of how it is here in LA. Like when you go on the freeway or on the street, you're driving and then there's always a guy or whoever. There's always a person that like has really intense road rage, and I don't think I've seen any movie like that. This is like the first one ever seen, but there are people that are intense drivers. It's crazy to think about that they could go to that extent just because you honk at them.
Yes, indeed. Road rage is real. And sometimes I have to catch myself driving. If anything, this is one of those movies with a moral perspective. Don't you be dare honking your horn. And sometimes I have to stop myself because sometimes I'd be like, oh, you honk your horn at me? I'm about to get Russell Crowe up in here. But I was like, nah, hold on. You know what I mean? Let me just chill. I just let stuff slide. You know, I'm not trying to get killed over a honk horn like in this case. It's definitely interesting how they built that up. Who's your favorite character in this movie?
I think I'm going to say that guy that tried to help her at the gas station. He was, you know, he's like, you know what? I'm going to help you out. I'm going to get the license plate and I'm just going to watch him. Because she made her feel safe. Both the kid and the mom were stupid to me. Mm-hmm. The guy was crazy crazy for one little thing that she did. Like, I don't know, it's just like too much. All he did was like, it was more than what she did. And you know, you should know better. If somebody's constantly attacking you, then you should, you know, avoid the confrontation. Just make him happy, and that way you'll get over it. Because I know she was having a bad day, but still, if you feel like a threat, like, you shouldn't be picking at it. And then I think one of the cops too was cool. Like, he just went in and shot him. So I thought that guy was cool too. I think those are the only two guys.
You know, I forgot about that. That's a good point too, as far as the cop character. We'll talk about that later. But you know what? I didn't think you'll pick that guy at the gas station because I thought we were making fun of him, saying he was kind of stupid to try to go out there and help. He's like, let's call the police. Like, nah, man, I got this. And just to him to just kind of confront the guy saying, I got your license plate number in my head. What do you think? He's going to just like let him go? So yeah, he was a cool character and all. I definitely agree the cop character was cool. It's funny that you picked all, like, in a movie, no one picks these, like, these aren't even side characters. These are just like the extra people in the movies. I would say, you know what, since he said that, maybe the cop character was my favorite, but I'm going to say initially I have Kyle, the son, as my favorite. And this is why. I felt like when the whole confrontation went down, he had the sense to be like, Mom, just say sorry. Like, he was trying to let it go. Mm-hmm. Like, he didn't really do nothing too crazy. He was like the voice of reason. Like, even when he was like hiding in the closet, he never left the closet. Yeah, he did something stupid, but that was more so he bumped into something. So his character wasn't as annoying as like his mom, who just who was just making dumb decision after dumb decision after dumb decision. She was definitely not liked at all. And you know, she was kind of like an asshole. And unfortunately, nothing really happens to her directly. Everybody else around her suffers because of her misdeeds.
She did get hurt at the end, like trying to fight him. But not as bad as the other people.
Not as bad as her brother. He lost his fiance, got his balls burned.
His best friend.
Her best friend.
I mean, yeah, her best friend.
And you know what? That's funny because, like, you look at her situation at the gas station. There was two people there, and they both offered to help her. Mm-hmm. Her friend was surrounded by bystanders, and they all watched while he got beat up and killed. But you know, it's funny. I think you're starting to see a theme in a lot of these movies where people aren't willing to help; they're just willing to record the video. It's a weird situation because, like, we live in a world where whatever you do, you're gonna get recorded, and then sometimes, like, they'll punish the bystanders. Sometimes they won't. But I don't think you should just sit there and record the incident. I call the police or try to help. But if you don't help, it's understandable because some people are crazy. Like, you try to interfere, you'll probably get killed. You know, bystanders aren't like trained professionals, but you can at least try to yell or, you know, call the police, not just sit there taking pictures with your phone while someone's getting killed, you know.
I think at the gas station, I was getting annoyed because, you know, she was just looking at him, and I'm in my head, and I was telling you too, like, she should tell them, and then they should call the cops to get rid of him, like, watch him. But she waited until the last minute, like, to, like, make those calls. I feel like she could have avoided it, like, way before all of that happened, you know.
Your favorite character told her she don't need the police.
The guy? No, he didn't say that.
Yeah, he said, he
said that we should call them.
No, he said, I'll walk out with you. You don't have to wait for the police. You know, it's going to take too long. Your favorite character is the one who told her not to call the police. Because at the gas station, he's like, I could call the police. Like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll walk out there with you. Nah, man. Fat Russell Crowe was big time. Don't mess with an overweight Russell Crowe, man. He deadly. He worse than Gladiator. So, yeah, so I thought that was interesting. One other thing, I know you haven't seen this movie, but this movie reminds me a lot of the 90s movie Falling Down. If you haven't seen it, it's definitely worth watching or putting on your watch list. Let me know if you guys seen that as well in the comments. Thoughts about the Russell Crowe character as a whole?
What do you mean as a whole?
Did you like him? Did you hate him? Did you love him?
He was scary.
Yeah, he was good. He was a good, crazy psycho. I feel like this character like matched his personality because I feel like he's like at the end of his career, and like this is a movie about a guy whose acting career is dead and he's just mad at the world. But instead of being mad at the world, he's a guy who's getting divorced. But you know, men, you know, and people in general have a hard time dealing with divorce. And even though this was about, you know, road rage, that was just a thing that he was already pushed over the edge. So the road rage really didn't change the fact that he was already mentally unstable because of the divorce. And it's interesting that they paired him with a woman who was going through a similar thing. So that was kind of interesting because at first I was like, wait a minute, is this a flashback of his ex-wife or what's going on? And we come to find out it's just a new character. Overall, what's your favorite scene in the movie?
I have to think about it.
We'll come back to that. Maybe there's no favorite scene.
I think the only thing is like when she, you know, used the scissors. I was so mad that she took forever just to get those scissors out of her pocket. Like, so many things happened. She was just, what was she doing? What was she thinking to put them somewhere where she couldn't even get them? I was so annoyed with that.
Oh, you know what? My favorite scene was it reminds me to go back to the police scene. When her brother's getting tortured and about to get killed, I thought it was cool because typically in movies, you never see like some...
Even in real life.
in real life, but even like in movies, like typically you never get like a random actor come in there and kind of save the day. You know, typically the police officers that's not named or one of the lead characters, they just kind of show up to get killed or do nothing. This is the first time that I could think of that a random police officer actually comes in and saves one of the co-stars. And it actually shoots the bad guy. Typically, that never happens. Like, you have to beat somebody to do that. And I thought that was kind of interesting that they actually kind of came in and saved him just in time and actually shot Russell Crowe, which you don't really see too often. Kind of like the other police officer that was in his car who did absolutely nothing. But this cop actually did something, or sheriff. I thought that was an interesting scene. And overall, is this movie roasted or toasted? Just for reference, Rotten Tomatoes, the critics gave it 48% and the audience gave it 77%. So do you think, are we going to give this a roasted, toasted, or something else?
Toasted.
I'm going to give it toasted. This movie is definitely not for everybody. It's kind of disturbing, but if you like something like falling down, someone at the edge of their rope, some crazy scenes, and you feel like it, if you know somebody with some road rage, have them watch this movie. It might change your mind about hunking at everybody when it's all said and done. And
it makes you think twice. Like, even at the end when everything was done, she was riding in the car, like she gets honked at and she was about to honk back, but her hands is shaking. And now it's like, okay, you gotta be calm when you drive. You don't want to get a person like him.
Any ideas? Any final thoughts?
Nope.
Perfect. All right, on that note, we are out of here. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and smash the like button. It really helps out the channel. Peace.
Peace.